Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the new interface in World of Warcraft Dragonflight. So, as you can see right now when you log into the game and also on my video here, you can see the interface has changed. For example, you can see my icons are down here, so my profile is here, and my enemy or target is here, and my spells look like this. You're probably asking, how do I change it? How can we move these things around? How? You can either right click on my portrait here and say edit mode, or you can click escape and say edit mode. Now you will be seeing these things which you can actually move around. If you don't want to see all the stuff, you can see these check marks here. For example, if we remove them all, then we don't see all of them, so we just see the basic stuff. So in this case now, you will just be seeing the action bars, my profile picture, the target, the chat, my quest, minimap, and so on. If you want more action bars, you still have to go into options, interface, action bars, and enable as many action bars you want. Normally I always play with 5, 2 on the right side and 3 down here. Show numbers. So going back in edit mode now, you will see all our action bars here and all the things. I personally like to have like most of the things highlighted just in case, so I can see, you know, like all the stuff that we have in this case. So now what we could do is, you can see here in the top left corner, you have 2 presets. You have the modern one, which is the standard Blizzard have made, which they think is like, you know, the new one people maybe should play with. Then you also have the classic one. The only difference between modern and classic, as far as what I can see, is that the icons is down here. You can see my icon, my enemy, and if I do classic, they just don't jump up in the left corner like they didn't, you know, in old days. If you begin to change any of this, like even moving the chat here, you can just close and keep it on these presets. No, you actually have to create a complete new one. So you have to say save, and for example, I will call this one my main. Now you can say, is it a character specific layout, so that which only this character can use? If you don't check mark it, it means all your characters on your account can use it, which I do normally, because then every time I log on my new character, I go in here and pick this one here called main. Then I know. For example, I also miscreated one called 123, and I'm going to delete that one here, delete layout. You can also again take the drop down list here with your layouts. You can still see the 2 presets, which you can always jump back on, or you have your normal. You also have an icon here where you can rename it and copy the layout. If you copy it, it will just like duplicate it, and where you can give it a new name. So for example, you don't want to destroy your main, but you want to make a copy of that one and play around with that one. So we're going to call it main B2. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check mark all these things so we can see everything that is going on. Good. Oops. I'm going to collapse it to make it a bit smaller so we can actually now see what we're doing. So in my case, let's see. Okay, in the left top corner we have raid here. This is the raid frames. This is the party frames. If, for example, you wanted to use raid frames for party, you cannot find an option in settings anymore. You have to go in and do it here. So you click on party frames and you say use raid style party frames. There you go. Now you can make them bigger, as I normally do, and you can pick where it should sort your characters. Should it just sort by like who's the leader and the names, or should it sort like roles, so it have the tank first, healer, and then the DPS. You can also use horizontal layout if you wanted, so you can have could have like your characters like here below you, which I haven't actually thought about. That's pretty cool, to be honest. Or you could also say display border, and it has like a border around them. Then we can say, okay, I want to have it here. I also want my chat down here, and I want to make it the highest as possible here, behind my webcam. And then we have the raid frames, where we can say, how big is the raid? It's 40 raids, cool. Then we can see how it looks when it's 40 raids. And keep in mind, in this one here, HUD, you can have a grid on, so that you can actually see this grid. I totally forgot to tell you that, sorry. And you can also have snap. If you don't have snap on, it doesn't care what it's doing. You can see, like, if you see the small squares here, it just places wherever it wants. But if you put snap on, then it tries, you can see here, that it actually goes into the boxes, which is helping my OCD, because, you know, I need stuff like that. And it's always taking the box here, in the corner of it, not the corner of that one or that one. It takes the corner of the top left corner here. So like this. So now we can say, how big do we want these to be? Big, small, tall, display borders. And how do you want to separate them? By groups vertical, groups horizontal, combine groups. So it just becomes like one big, or yeah, whichever way you want it. But again, having that grid and snap on is really, really useful, because it will like put them in the right positions. You also can click on yourself, where you can select you want to have a cast bar underneath, or you can even make your icon even bigger if you wanted. We don't want on enemies. You can do buffs, so they are, instead of buffs below, they get on top of it. And also make your target bigger if you wanted. You have the chat, which doesn't really have anything you can do. Your action bars. Many people have asked me this one. How do I get rid of this art, these griffins? Well, actually, you just click on your action bar and you say hide bar art. And there you go. Now it's just clean action bars without this bar art. You can also hide scrolling, so it doesn't show the scrolling one. But then you need to keybind it to actually change the scrolling. You can also change the rows. For example, if you wanted to like having action bars like this for some reason, or icons, you can even make them smaller, so it's not like full action bars. Also change the size of it. We're just gonna revert it. Oh god, it just destroyed. Revert all changes. We can also the padding, which means how much space you're gonna have between each of the spells. Yeah, and vertical, so it just goes up and down. And the same you can do with other ones, but on the other ones, there is one thing I highly recommend you to do, is this one here called always show buttons. Remove that one, because you can see without this, all my action bars is gonna have these annoying squares. But if you do, so you click always show buttons, remove the check mark, then it will not show. You can still have spells up and down, which I like. I really think this looks smooth. I'm also going to do it like with the next one here. And now you can see like this. That's really good. You also have up here in the right corner, you have your buffs. Again, you can choose like the orientation, the icon wrap, up, down, you know, like how do you want to have them, direction, which way should they grow from, size, padding, limit, like how many icon limits do you want? Holy moly, like how long is it allowed to like grow out for you before it goes to the next row? You can have it go long. The same here with debuffs. You also have debuffs here, same settings, show full. Oh, okay, show full is like it puts in as many buffs as possible. God damn it. Then you have boss frames, so you can like see the boss names. You can also say use larger frames if you want to have bigger boss names. You have arena frames, so now you can actually control where you want to have your arena frames, which is a really nice thing. You also have campaign down here where you can see your quests and tooltips. But you cannot move around this in the right corner. If you want to do that, you need an add-on called Bartender. Basically, it does the same as this default interface, but it also gives you ability to change this in the corner. So I think pretty much this is the default things. So for example, what I could do, what I would normally play around with would be something like, I mean, we also have here extra abilities, talking head, encounter bar, cast bar. You could make the cast bar like bigger if you wanted. And now when you cast spells, let's say this one, you can see we have like a very big cast bar. Stuff like that. This system here, the way you're changing is very inspired. I mean, it's not set from Blizzard, but as a person who played like a lot of Final Fantasy, it looks the same. Let's just say it that way. It looks the complete same. And keep in mind, you can always, if you really think like you messed everything up, always go back to the presets and everything will be just as Blizzard has intended you to play the game. And you can go back to that one if you wanted. But again, inside options, you also have tons of settings you can choose between, like in here. Key bindings, combat stuff, social, interface, where you can show what do you want to see in the rate frames, power bars, class colors, pets, display values, sort of things. And if you're looking for a specific setting, you can also search. So for example, camera. I always change this one camera following style to never adjust. And I was not able to find this one. I couldn't find it. So I had to search for camera and I found it. Magic. You can also search for key bindings. So auto run. And down here now, toggle start auto run. Toggle auto run. There we go. Very helpful. So if you're searching for a specific key binding, you can also search for it there. And again, same with the graphic settings. We have all the different graphic settings in here. Audio, language, accessibilities. We got some new accessibilities. So like if you need any of these, they're also great. Colorblind, text to speech, and etc. So I think that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. This was just like a quick little beginner's guide on how you could do stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you, you can also move the minimap. So you can see here, the minimap, and hit underneath so you can have like the name of the district you're in right now, or underneath. And you can also even have it rotating, so when you look around it also rotates. Or you could like move it around and be like, I want to have it here, buffs all up there, and I want to have minimap in top left corner. Call it map. There we go. This is very weird for me. Yeah, we have to go back to the normal one because this is too weird for me. There you go. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And by the way, I'm going to live stream Dragonflight launch on the 28th of November on my YouTube channel. You can already now go to the event and click sign up. And so appreciate it if I see the chat. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.